lie down on the mat in constructive rest pose to begin. Make sure you give yourself this moment to settle in. Check that your feet are in line with your sit bones. Your shoulder blades are flat and broad. Arms are relaxed. Back of the neck is long. And then you take a moment to sink down into gravity. Relaxing completely. Let the bones settle, the muscles soften. Breath move naturally. Take an inhale and bring your attention down to the base of the spine, picturing the pelvic diamond. With the exhale, gather the pelvic floor in towards the center, squeeze the sphincters, draw the perineum towards the crown of the head. Relax, hold the breath out for a moment and maintain. Then relax as you inhale, continuing to soften the shoulders, bringing the attention down the spine. And exhale, draw the pelvic floor in towards its center again, engaging the sphincters, drawing the perineum towards the crown, and maintain with the breath held out for a moment. Then relax as you inhale. One more time, attention at the pelvic floor, and exhale, gather it in. And maintain with the breath out, relax the shoulders. And then soften, release completely. And draw the attention up to the transversus abdominis belt. Picture the belt wrapping around the low torso, and then with an exhale, you'll gather that belt snugly from your lower back. Imagine it buckling beneath the belly button. Really feel that sliding inwards across the hip points. Each hip point in towards each other. Relax, release. And again, picture the belt and gather it around. And then relax. Give into gravity. One more time. Inhale, picture the belt. And exhale, snug it around the hips. This time maintain. Breathe as you maintain the transversus abdominis support. And then relax that. And we'll bring the arms down closer to the sides, palms facing each other. We're going to inhale the arms straight up to vertical and leave them there for a moment. Inhale the attention to the pelvic floor. Exhale, gather the pelvic floor and then snug your belt around, and then reach your arms back towards the wall behind you, keeping your lower back and your pelvis neutral as your arms reach back. And with your inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling, and then lower the arms back down to the sides. And as the arms come down, you're going to relax that inner core engagement completely. And do it again. Inhale, arms float up to vertical, bringing your attention down to the base of the spine. Exhale, engage the pelvic floor and the transversus belt. Reach the arms back, maintaining a neutral pelvis and spine. And inhale, the arms will float up. And then lower down with your exhale, letting that abdominal contraction go. One more time. Inhale, arms float to vertical. And exhale, engage the inner core to support the neutral spine as you reach the arms back. And float the arms to the ceiling. Leave them in the vertical position. Soften the core and the shoulders, and then make some small circles with your arms. And then reverse. Then bring your hands behind your head. Interlace the fingers, open the elbows out wide. Take an inhale. As you exhale, engage the inner core, and this time add an imprint of the back ribs. Then knit your front ribs together. You're still in your neutral spine and your pelvis. You still have your elbows out wide, and then relax as you inhale. Let the ribs flare. Bring the attention down to the pelvic floor. Exhale, engage the pelvic floor, the belt, and then imprint your back ribs and your front ribs. Maintain your neutral spine. Keep your elbows up nice and wide. And inhale. Again, let the ribs flare. One more time. Exhale, engage the inner core. Imprint the back ribs, knit the front ribs. Keep the elbows out wide and go into a head lift with a neutral spine. And then lower back down. And keep maintaining the core. Exhale to lift the head. Keep neutral. And inhale, lower back down. Once again, lift. This time I'm going to stay up and inhale. Re-engage the inner core. Make sure you feel your back ribs imprinting. And then lift the right foot up. And flex your foot. Extend your leg out through the heel. Bend your knee. Anchor and lower down. Keeping the pelvis perfectly still. Lift the left foot up. Flex your foot and extend out through the heel. And inhale, bend your knee. And re-anchor. Lower the foot back down. And steady pelvis. Lift the right foot up. Reach through the heel with the foot flexed back as you straighten the leg, bend the knee, and lower. Keeping the pelvis steady. Lift the left, reach out through the heel, and inhale, come back in. Just check that your ribs are still imprinted in the back. The head is still lifted with your eyes on your thighs. One more time. Lift the foot, the right foot, extend out through the leg, bend the knee, and re-anchor as you lower, and then go to the left side. Keep the pelvis still, and reach out through the heel. And bend the knee, and lower the foot, lower the head, relax the arms, palms facing up, and gently press the back of the head down into the mat, and then relax that, keep softening your shoulders. Again, gently press the back of the head into the mat, and soften. One more time, gently press, and relax. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Re-engage the inner core. Imprint the back ribs and knit the front ribs. Keep your neutral spine and raise the right foot up. And then the left foot up. I'm going to pause here in the neutral tabletop position and circle the ankles around. And reverse the circles. And then re-engage inner core, imprinting and knitting the ribs. Make sure your pelvis is nicely stabilized. Your back ribs are down, and we're going to lower into pistons. Exhale. One foot down, inhale, lift it up, and exhale the other foot down and lift it up. You can check in with your ribs and your hips to make sure that they're really staying still. Be aware that the back ribs don't pop up off the floor when you lower your foot down. Exhale to lower, keep imprinting, and inhale, come up. We still want the pelvic floor and the belt going, and left. One more time, lower with the right, and lift, and the left. And then just pick one hand to each knee. Drop the knees out wide. Gently pull towards your armpits and go ahead and let your lower back flatten. And then soften that pull a little bit and start to stir your thighs around your hip joints. And reverse the circles, relaxing the legs in the hip sockets. And give the knees a hug in. Lengthening the lower back and the back of the neck. And then lift the feet as high as the knees, neutral tabletop. Re-engage the inner core, imprint the back ribs, knit the front, lower the right foot down, keep it down. Lower the left foot down, keep it down. Relax. And then bring the arms close to the sides in preparation for the 100. We're going to re-engage the inner core and imprint and knit the ribs, starting with the left foot this time. Lift the left foot up. Make sure your back ribs are staying imprinted. And the right foot up. Stable pelvis. Press the palms down. Re-engage around the rib cage and lift your head. Extend your legs. Externally rotate the legs and then exhale for 5 pulses. And inhale for 5. Exhale for 5. And inhale. Exhale for 5 pulses. And inhale. Keep the head well supported. If your neck gets too tired, put your head down and gently press it down into the mat. And then if you can, lift it back up, eyes on the thighs. And inhale. Exhale for 5. And inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. Inhale. One more set. Exhale. And inhale. Then we'll bend the knees, pull the knees into the chest. And turn the head slowly from one side to the other. Return the legs to neutral tabletop position, relax the arms. And lower the left foot down. And the right. And soften. Okay, let's get the small ball or folded blanket or pillow. Place it between the knees. Upper body relaxed. Feel your neutral spine. Engage the inner core. Knit and imprint the ribs. Keep your neutral spine and squeeze into the ball. Maintain it for a moment. Keep breathing, but keep engaging. And then very slowly release the squeeze on the ball. The pelvis is staying still here. Again, reset the inner core, imprint and knit the ribs and squeeze into the ball. Keep the pelvis still, feel your inner thighs working. Make sure you really feel that belt. This is a great way to stabilize if your sacrum is destabilized. This is a really good thing to do. And then release slowly. One more time with the full support of the inner core, imprinting and knitting the ribs, squeeze into the ball. Now keep your squeeze. We're going to add a pelvic tilt. I'm going to pull pubic bone to navel. See if you can keep that skillful pulling in that we did last week on Saturday. So you're not pushing through your feet, but you're really drawing the pubic bone towards the navel. And then press into the feet and raise the hips up towards the ceiling. You're squeezing on the ball the whole time. Feel the length in the front of your thighs, length at the back of the neck. Bring yourself slowly down. Make sure you're imprinting and then really drawing pubic bone to navel as you come down through the lower part of the spine. Pause there for a moment with your pelvic tilt in place. Now keep your inner core working, but lower your tailbone down. And then relax all of the core muscles. Re-engage inner core. Tilt the pelvis by drawing pubic bone to navel, not pressing into the feet. You might not get all the way to a flat back, that's fine. Imprint and knit the ribs, squeeze on the ball, and lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Maintain, keep squeezing, keep tilting the pelvis. Bring it back down. Drawing pubic bone to navel the whole time, keep squeezing the ball. Stop once you have your flat back down, you're still tilting the pelvis, and then release. Tailbone down and relax core muscles. One more time. Inner core. Tilt the pelvis by pulling pubic bone to navel. Imprint and knit. Squeeze on the ball. And then raise the hips up. Keep the squeeze as you're in the lift. And re-engage. Draw pubic bone to navel. Roll down, imprinting the back ribs. Scooping the belly in. Coming to your pelvic tilt. Squeezing on the ball, and then releasing. We're going to re-engage the low core, imprint and knit the ribs, lift the head up, take the ball out, and put it off to the side. And then let's bring the right knee to the chest, tilt the pelvis, and straighten the right leg out, the left leg out onto the floor. Take a moment to pull your right knee to your right armpit. Keep your pelvis even. In other words, don't let your left hip come off the mat. Feel your inner thighs stretching. And then bringing the knee back into the center. Come out of the pelvic tilt so you feel your tailbone down, and then straighten your right leg to the ceiling. Take a moment, reach the hands behind the thigh, drop the shoulders, and then bend the knee. Try to feel your tailbone on the floor, and then keep that steady as you straighten the right leg up again. Make sure that you're not flattening your back, you're only straightening the leg, and bend the knee. And one more time, reach up with the right leg. Keep your tailbone down, so no flat back, neutral spine, and then we'll circle the leg. Go 5 times around, nice and slow, keeping your hips stabilized, your back ribs imprinting. Then reverse for 5 in the other direction. Be sure your pelvis is still stabilized. I'm going to focus on your back left ribs to make sure that they're still down. And then let's keep the right leg straight. Put your left hand on the right leg, and then we're going to go to a twist by pulling the straight leg all the way over towards the floor on the left side. If you need to bend your knee, of course you can. And you can hold anywhere along the leg, down to the toes if that's possible. Reach wide with the right arm and stretch So you're stretching your right toes and your right fingers as far away from each other as they can be. Then if you had turned your head to the right, bring it back into the center. Bend your right knee and roll to your back. Hug the right knee in. And then slide the left leg in. Hug both knees into the chest. Lower the right foot to the floor. Pulling the left knee into the chest. Straighten the right leg out along the floor. Engage the core so you can keep your right hip level as you bring your left knee to your left armpit, stretching the inner thigh on this side without rocking the pelvis. I'm going to bring the left knee back into parallel alignment. Bring the hands behind the back of the thigh. Feel your neutral spine, so no flat back here. Tailbone down. Engage the core. And straighten the left leg up. So take a moment and feel that you got your tailbone down. Your lower back's in its neutral position as you straighten the leg. And then without letting your pelvis or back shift positions, bend the left knee. And then straighten the leg up. And bend the left knee. And straighten up. One more time, bend. And straighten, keeping your neutral spine. So check in one more time, the back's not flat. And then stabilize around this position. Circle the left leg, keeping the pelvis still, the ribs still. Leg nice and long. Then reset and reverse. One of the inner core, the back ribs imprinting, the pelvis even. Then we're going to keep the left leg straight and reach up with the right hand, guide it down towards the floor on the right side. Hold on the leg or down to the left foot. And then we're going to reach wide, left hand and left foot far away from each other. If the straight leg doesn't work, you can bend the knee. If you like, turn the head over to the left. And then bring the head to the center. Bend the left knee, roll onto your back. Bring your knees into your chest, both knees in, hug them in, relax the neck and shoulders. Okay, let's turn to the left side. Stretch out long on your left side with the neck and shoulders comfortable. Right hand on the right waist, engage the inner core. Keep the feet just a little forward over the legs, and then as you exhale, lift your organs and raise both legs up. And then top leg up and down, bottom leg down and up. Top up and down, bottom down and up. Lift, lower, lower, and lift. Twice more. Come to the center, re-engage your core, externally rotate both legs, and then nice wide movement as you lift. Take both legs wide in a turnout position. So the top leg is going up, bottom leg is tapping down to the floor. Good. Make sure your pelvis is steady, fingertips on the mat if you prefer it. One more time, nice big, wide, open scissors. Come to the center, you're still in turnout. We're going to pulse the legs 10 times. And then move both feet to parallel. Flex them back, and then squeeze your toes and point your feet. Fan your toes and flex your feet. Squeeze, point, fan, flex, squeeze, point, fan, flex. Keep your toes open and reach. Squeeze your toes and pull them back in. Open and reach. Squeeze and pull back. One more time. Open and reach, squeeze, and flex the foot back. Relax the feet and bring the legs down. And keep your thighs where they are. Bend at the knees. Engage your inner core and rotate the right leg out in the socket. 10 times. Relax and move the legs to a 90-degree hip flexion. Knees and feet at the front of the mat. Roll that right hip forward, engage the inner core, and then roll the right leg out in the socket. And feel the right hip staying forward. Pelvis is very steady. We're rotating the bone outwards in the socket, using the muscles in the right buttock. And when you're done, come to 45-degree hip flexion and relax for a moment there. Put your right arm wherever it's comfortable. We're going to work the neck a little bit. So lift, keeping the face forward, we're going to lift the head, bring the right ear towards the right shoulder, and then lower back down. So we're doing a side bend. Try not to scrunch your shoulder towards your ear, but only lift the ear towards the shoulder. And lower, and one more time. Lift, and lower. Good, relax the shoulder. Turn your head so you're looking up at the ceiling. And then nod the head, yes, you're going to lift the head and bring your chin towards your right shoulder and lower back down. Keep looking up, keep the head rotated up towards the ceiling. Lift and lower. One more time, nod. And lower. Bring the head to the center and relax. And then rotate so you're looking down at the floor. Your forehead is resting on your arm. And then nudge your nose forward and lift your head, nodding the back of the head towards the shoulder, and then lower. Tuck your chin down, your nose down into your armpit, and slide the nose forward. Lift, nod, and lower. One more time. Slide forward, nod, and lower. Relax your head into the center. I'm going to bring the right elbow onto the right waist. Check that the hips and knees are lined up. Engage the inner core, and then extra rotation in the right leg and the right arm, keeping the elbow on the waist. So we're moving in the hip joint and the shoulder joint. Stable pelvis and stable rib cage. And when you're done, we're going to relax and turn over to the right side with the legs straight out. Top hand on the top waist. So legs straight out with the feet just a little forward and the pelvis tilted a little forward. Engage the inner core. Take an organ lift. Keep your legs squeezing together as you lift both legs up, and then take the top leg up and down, and then the bottom leg down and up. Top up and down, and bottom down and up. Lift and lower and lower and lift. Do each leg twice more. And we're going to stay in the center. Both legs are lifted. Externally rotate both legs, and then wide scissors. Top leg up, bottom leg down. Stay externally rotated. Make sure that your hips are not rolling back, just that you rolled the leg back. And then stay in external rotation. Tap the heels together 10 times. Then come to parallel and flex your feet back and squeeze the toes. Point the feet, fan the toes, flex back, squeeze, point, fan, flex, squeeze, point, fan, flex. Keep your toes open. Reach, squeeze your toes and pull back. Open and reach, squeeze and pull back. One more time. Open and reach out, squeeze and pull back. Relax the feet. Bring the legs down. And bend at the knees. Bringing your feet behind you, your thighs are straight down underneath your head. You're going to find your inner core, your pelvic floor, and the belt, and roll the left leg out in the socket 10 times. Relax and then go to 90 degrees. Keep that left hip forward. Engage the inner core. And keep the pelvis steady as you roll the left leg out in the socket 10 times. Relax and move the legs down a little bit, 45-degree hip flexion. Left arm wherever it's comfortable. Relax in the core, and we'll work the neck, keeping your face forward. Lift your head, bring your left ear toward your left shoulder, and then lower, and lift, and lower, and lift, and lower. Relax the neck, and then rotate so you're looking up at the ceiling, and then nod. Lift your head and bring your chin toward your shoulder, and lower back down. And again, lift, and lower. One more time, lift, and lower. Turn the head forward, relax. And then rotate so you're looking down. And slide the nose forward and tilt the head back so the back of the head's coming towards the shoulder. And lower the head. Bring your chin and your nose down to your armpit. Slide the nose forward and tilt the head back. And lower. One more time. And then turn your head to the center. Rest your left elbow on your left waist. Make sure that your hips are aligned. Engage the inner core. And then roll the arm and the leg out of the socket 10 times. External rotation, steady pelvis, steady ribs. And then let's turn onto the back. Relax in neutral for a moment. And then an anchor in the low core, keeping your neutral pelvis. Lift your right ankle to your left knee. And keep your neutral pelvis as you lift your left foot up. Bring your hands behind the left leg. Keep reaching your tailbone down and stretch the right buttock, relaxing your shoulders towards the floor. Balance across the back of the pelvis. Be sure you're not rocked over to the right side. And gently push your right knee away from your shoulder if you want a little bit more stretch, or pull your left thigh in a bit closer, but get the extra movement in the hip rather than flattening the back. And then release that. And re-support as you bring your left ankle up to your right knee. Find the low core support. Keep your neutral spine as you lift the right foot up. Support the back of the leg. Relax the shoulders. And find the evenness at the back of the pelvis. Stretching here. Get more stretch by pushing your left knee away or pulling your right thigh in rather than by flattening the back. Shoulders relaxed, neck and jaw face easy. Now back away from the stretch. Uncross your ankle and bring both knees into the chest. We're going to do a couple more things in a couple more minutes we have left. Let's do the single leg stretch. So find your neutral lumbar curve. Engage your inner core. We're going to lift the head up. Make sure your ribs are imprinting and knitting. Straighten one leg up. Take the other one out and open the arms, elbows wide. Going into the single straight leg stretch. Neutral pelvis. Keep the chin tucked in, head lifted. Gentle pull on the up leg. Hamstring stretch. Okay, then bend the knees. Keep your head up and bring your hands behind the knees. We're going to go straight into the crisscross, bicycling the legs and reaching the armpit over across towards the bent knee. Hug the knees. Put the head down and relax the neck. Turn the head from side to side. Now we're going to turn all the way over onto the stomach. Bring the hands down to the sides with the palms up, forehead on the floor. Legs close together. Engage the inner core. Pull your ribs in, and as you exhale, lift everything up. Head, arms, chest, and legs. Lift your arms straight up behind you. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Lift your thighs up nice and high. And then lower. Relax everything. And again, engage inner core. Glide the ribs and lift everything up. Squeezing the legs together. Squeezing the shoulder blades together. And lower down. One more time. Anchor and lift. Now we're going to open the legs wide, reach the arms in front of you, then lower your hands and your legs. Chest is still up. Open the breastbone and then relax the legs, keeping your upper back working. Then lower the forehead to the floor. We're going to push into a child's pose for a moment. And lift up onto all fours. Hands are under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We're going to go into a downward facing dog. Find your full inner core support. Find the pelvic floor and the belt. And lift your ribs together. Tuck your toes. Push into the floor to raise your hips up towards the ceiling. Keep your hips lifted nice and high. And then maybe you'll straighten your legs, maybe not. But keep pushing your hands into the floor and raising your sit bones up, away from the floor, stretching up. Now re-engage your low core, and we're going to come out into a plank position. Keep pushing the floor away with the hands. Lengthen the legs. Engage the inner core, and then bend the knees without bringing them quite down to the floor. Keep pushing the floor away, and lower the knees down to the floor. Re-engage the low core. And keep your pelvis, your spine, your shoulders stable as you lift the knees an inch off the floor. Keep pushing the floor away. We're going to open out to plank then. And to downward dog. And then walk your hands in towards your feet. Hang down in a forward bend. Relax the neck and shoulders. Place your hands on the backs of your thigh or legs. Engage your inner core. And then knit your ribs together, flatten the back out. You're still looking down at your feet. And then slide your hands up your legs to come all the way up into standing. Lift tall through the crown of the head. Roll the arms out of the sockets. And then relax the arms. Relax the core work. Stand tall and relaxed. Check that your chin is dropped down a little bit. All right, that'll do it. Thank you. I will be here Saturday. I think probably not next Wednesday. I'm teaching down in Ulster County, so I doubt I will be back in time, but definitely on Saturday. Okay, thank you.